Hi everyone, I've just received this parcel which is very exciting, and I thought I would show you what is inside. Now it's a very cute little book called Johanna Basford, Fantastische, Wunder, Welt. You all laugh at my German accent. It is actually a little postcard book. It's wrapped in polythene. I'm just going to open it up, and it is from Worlds of Wonder, as you may have guessed from the cover and the name. I don't think it's that tricky to understand it. And now I bought these from UK Amazon. They are available there. I will put a link in the description so you can go and have a look for yourself. They don't do a UK or a US version as far as I'm aware. They didn't for Worlds. There wasn't one for World of Flowers either, and it seems like they only do them in Germany, maybe other countries too, but we seem to be able to only buy the German ones. But as I say, they are on UK Amazon, so you don't have to pay international postage. So here we are, and as it says on the front here, I shall zoom in just a tad. I wasn't sure on the size of the book. There we go. There are 24 postcards. Now I am just going to measure it for you because it is a fairly small book of postcards. It is 10.5 centimetres, or about just over 4 inches, by not quite 6 inches, or about 14.5 centimetres. Now this is smaller than the postcards that we had for Secret Garden, Enchanted Forest, etc. So it's a little bit smaller, but I don't think that's a problem for me. But I just thought I would warn you so you realise. And we're going to have a little flip through and look at all the postcards inside. So I'm not going to keep turning it round because I think it's going to be a bit distracting. So on the inside of here we have all sorts of publishing information. But our first picture is the elephant, which I think is a favourite of many people, so it'll be interesting to do it in a smaller size. On the back of each postcard we have our little space for a stamp and to write, and there's a pretty little border around as well, which I guess you could try and colour. I'm not sure if it will be too difficult. And another favourite I think of many people's is the bicycle. I think it'd be lovely doing a mini version of that one. Now the postcards are just glued in, and they're very softly glued in, so they could easily pop out, which obviously is the point of the postcards, to then send them to people. And here we have the lovely horse picture and the candy cart. It's quite a few really teeny details on that one. I think some of these excuse me, might need pens, but because they're a fairly thick cardboard, that would probably work. Now I've just noticed that on each postcard there's a very faint picture that continues from this edge one across all the back, and it's actually the rainbow butterfly flower design from the book. And here we have the house picture. Here's one of our birds. This is the one with the strawberries. And an island with the flying fish. Again, this is quite small, but I'm sure we can manage. It's not it's not lots going on in the picture, so I think it would be okay. I think that's okay. Now these aren't terribly thick postcards. I would never just send it as it is anyway in the post. I would always pop it in an envelope. That would give it a slight more protection, but it would mean what you've coloured doesn't get spoiled. But often I use them as gift tags and things like that as well. So here we have our lovely toadstool house. And we have, oh, this is an interesting one, the fish and the buildings. That's quite a fun one to do. And of course, although there's a lot of detail in the fish, you could just colour the whole thing in and sort of just let the drawing shine through rather than trying to do every scale. And we have the another underwater islandy house picture. I think that was from Flourish, as well as Worlds of Wonder, and this is the centre of one of the designs, so that's quite cute, and that means it isn't too small because it's just a part of it. And we have the swan. Oh, lovely swan. See, because it's so ornate, it would be, you know, you could do some of this in gold pen to make it a little bit easier to colour. Oops. And the strawberry design, that's quite pretty. I've also, with some of my postcards, if they are too small to colour, I actually don't colour them at all. I just send them uncoloured, because they're obviously beautiful pieces of art without having to always need being coloured. We have the cat. And this is interesting because it's the heart shape, and of course it says welcome in German, so that's quite a novelty. I think that's quite fun. And the house and flowers picture, I think some people really enjoyed doing that one. I know there was a lovely Chris Chang tutorial for that one that a lot of people enjoyed. And the camel, he's just a cutie, isn't he? Now this was part of a double page spread, and obviously they've just chosen to do a little bit of it, which I think is quite fun. Obviously you couldn't fit the whole thing on anyway, so that's nice. And the campsite island, it's rather cool. And this is the design, as I was saying, is on each of the postcards, so it's just a little bit of it much bigger. That's quite fun, because this one's quite a daunting picture to do on its own, but to have just a little bit of it, that could be fun. And the boat in the fishbowl on the tree stump, such a surreal idea. I absolutely loved colouring it, and that would be fun to do. And the little up house floating away off into the sky. And the cute little cat asleep on the cart. Lovely picture. I've just seen one today that was beautifully coloured by someone, as many are, of course. Now here is one from the really detailed page, and of course there's still a lot of detail in there. I'm not sure I would try and colour that in. I might just send it to someone as is, maybe challenge them to have a go instead. That's a bit mean, isn't it? And that's our last one, and here's our back cover, which you can have a little look at. I am not going to try and read that out to you, but I'm basically assuming that it says there are 24 postcards to colour, but I'm not going to try and translate it or read it for you. So there's the lovely little book. Now I paid, I think, only $4.99 for this. Obviously I did have to pay postage on top. If you've got Amazon Prime, you probably wouldn't have to do that, but I'm not sure it's available anywhere but Amazon at the moment, from the UK, but obviously in other countries you might find it elsewhere. So there we go, there's that lovely little book. So I hope you enjoyed that little flip through. Thank you so much for watching, and happy colouring.